Good evening, welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shobh, and on the show tonight, now a report by Moody Analytics says that the government hasn't helped itself with controversial comments from various BJP members. Global credibility could be hit. So from the Bihar elections to protests by writers and scientists, and now to Moody's, there is one underlying theme: communalism. On the show, are communal politics damaging the Prime Minister's credibility? Also on the show tonight, the outrageous situation of a baby being born in an auto on Delhi's roads because traffic was choked because of VVIP movement during the summit of African leaders. The baby and the mother are now fine, but when will we have had enough of our obsessive VIP culture? Tonight, in our second debate, a baby is born in an auto. Delhi's VIP traffic jams, is there really no solution? But first, our top story. The political slugfest continues in Bihar ahead of the last two rounds of polling, with both sides accusing the other of communalizing the election campaign.
It was a race to the election commission between the BJP and Bihar's Grand Alliance to complain against each other.
अमित शाह ने कि यहाँ जो गठबंधन जीतेगा, हम लोग का गठबंधन, तो पाकिस्तान में पड़ाका बजेगा और साबुद्दीन जेल में खुश होगा.
The BJP complained to the commission, alleging the Grand Alliance was communalizing the campaign, not them. Your opponents are saying that this is a blatant attempt to communalize the situation.
This is communalizing. If there is a fight with Pakistan or is anything with Pakistan, then how it is communalizing? Why is anybody identifying themselves with Pakistan?
Campaigning in Gopalganj, the Prime Minister stepped up the attack, presenting his proof for Nitish Kumar's plan for religion-based quotas.
24 अगस्त को उन्होंने पार्लियामेंट में जो भाषण किया था, उसका दस्तावेज मेरे पास मौजूद है. आरक्षण में से हिस्सा निकाल करके संप्रदाय के आधार पर आरक्षण दिया जाए, ये उन्हीं का भाषण है.
The political reaction swift, with Nitish calling Modi's language divisive and desperate, saying, and I quote, "Astonished at Modi ji's brazen use of divisive language. In his desperation to win the losing battle of Bihar, I'm afraid he might lose India." Unquote.
ये लालू जी को तो भ्रष्टाचार में जेल हुई है कि नहीं हुई है?
The battle looks set to get even more bitter as there are only 4 days of campaigning left in Bihar. With camera person Manoj Kumar and Sunil Prabhu in Delhi, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Joining us now, Pawan Verma, Rajya Sabha MP of the JDU, Krishna Sagar Rao, spokesperson of the BJP with us, Ratan Sharda, the RSS thinker, Vikram Singh Mehta, chairman of Brookings India, and Rita Bahuguna Joshi, spokesperson of the Congress. Thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Mehta, let me come to you first. I'd like to get your reaction to what exactly Moody's has said. Now, Moody's has said in recent times the government also hasn't helped itself with controversial comments from various BJP members. While Modi has largely distanced himself from nationalist jibes, the belligerent provocation of various Indian minorities has raised ethnic tensions. Also, with the possible increase in violence, the government will face stiffer opposition in the upper house as debate turns away from economic policy. Modi must keep his members in check or risk losing domestic and global credibility. Do you believe, Mr. Mehta, that this is an exaggerated report by Moody's?
There's no doubt in my mind that brand India has taken a knocking because of the various incidents that have taken place over the past few weeks, months. And we have to recognize that a brand is built on the back of both tangible and intangible attributes. It's not just a question of hawking a product based on technology or economic growth or price performance or human resource potential. It is also based on the intangible attributes of values and experience. And what the last few weeks have done is to really raise questions about the values. And they've raised questions about the nature of this government. Is it indeed a liberal, reformist, open government, or is it sectarian, atavistic, authoritarian? The questions that are being asked now are fundamental, in my view, to the future of our economic and social performance. And so this report is hitting hard. It's a hard-hitting report. but is raising the right questions.
Okay.
And I think the Prime Minister has to recognize that he is not just the first amongst equals in the cabinet. He won a presidential election. He has to stand up and give expression to the values of Brand India, has to give to the values of an open,
okay, I want to
liberal
take
society.
that across to the BJP
And unless he
spokesperson
does
Krishna
that,
Sagar Rao.
I'm
Very
afraid
strong
we are going
words
to
there
be- we are going
from
to be
Mr.
eroded.
Vikram Singh Mehta, and very strong words in this report as well. How does the BJP respond to what's been said by Moody's?
See, Vishnu, first of all, it is not an official report. It is a statement made by an individual, and Moody's already has given issued a statement saying that they don't have anything to do with it. That has already come out. I think you have to follow it. Having said that, yes, of course, politics is about perception, but governance is about delivery. I think government under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is doing exactly what it is mandated to do, is to deliver good governance, transparent governance, corruption-free governance, and the image of India. And my earlier panelist, respectively, was talking about the brand. And any brand is built for eternity, and a brand and its core values and its positioning doesn't, and its image doesn't change overnight.
No, but it's not overnight.
It doesn't change overnight.
No, but Mr.
It
Rao,
doesn't change
this is the
overnight,
report
and the
actually that we are
politics of
talking
office-
about.
One second.
This is the
One
Moody's
second.
report,
Let
and
me-
it's
let me
actually quite
speak.
harsh. How do you say a
Vishnu.
brand exists for eternity?
Am I speaking to Vishnu or somebody is in
No,
between?
I'm Vishnu here. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, Vishnu, let me complete. What I'm trying to say is, brands are built for eternity, and we are not talking product services here. We are talking about a country as large as India, one of the largest democracies in the world, and enshrined the spirit
No, but
and
Mr. Rao, you aren't
liberties of
answering
the
any of the
Constitution.
questions which have been
So-
raised in this
no,
report.
I am. You
We
allow
know
me.
about our
You
enshrined
allow
values.
me.
We know about how great a country we are. But this is Moody's saying that global investor sentiment has been hit. You've got Vikram Singh Mehta, the
that's what
chairman of Brookings India, saying it is correct. So could you give us a pointed response to these allegations? Is it true? Is
I'm
it wrong?
giving-
If it's wrong, why so?
It's totally wrong, and that's what I said. It's about a perception. We don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. I think if you're going to buy the stories which are getting circulated, negativity sells faster. I think if there is anything happening in
Moody's
this country,
is a
what
Moody's is a
happening-
biased party.
What is happening is
Moody's
the
is a
politics
biased
of,
party.
No, one second, Vishnu. If at all anything is happening in this country now in terms of damaging the reputation of this country and the image of the country, it is not done by either BJP or the government. It is being done by intolerant parties, especially Congress,
Okay.
which is painting this kind of a picture, unfortunately, in India. The politics of obfuscation and politics of hyperbole is what causing the damage.
No,
and
so
I think,
Mr. Rao, I'll come to my other
established
panelists. Just in one word,
professionals
I'll
have to
come back to
understand
you
that.
after that. Are you saying this report is rubbish? That there is no credibility in this report? That's what you're saying?
It's
Moody's
totally
has no
rubbish.
credibility.
It's totally rubbish.
Okay.
I'll tell you what is factual is this 7.3% growth rate is factual, and 7.6% fiscal growth rate expected is factual. And Pangari ji just now talked about the quantum jump of the GDP growth. That is factual, and this is very subjective. I think an individual's perception he is free to express, and that's what he's expressing. That's about it.
Well, he writes he writes on the. I mean, everything is ultimately an opinion. I mean, but it's a report it's a credible one. That being said, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, Krishna Sagar Rao just said that there is a larger picture over here of a certain image of the BJP that the Congress is deliberately trying to spread, an image of negativity. That is what pervades over here right now. One can, I assume, stretch that to all the arguments about the BJP being essentially communal in the present circumstances. Why is the Congress doing that?
Is there any doubt after what Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi have spoken in Bihar, how they have tried to polarize the voters there? They have not talked about development. They are trying to instill fear in the hearts of the majority by telling them that damage could be done, talking about Pakistan, talking about indirectly in a veiled manner talking about the Muslims. And see, this is when you see that hundreds of our intellectuals, scientists, filmmakers and other artists, they're returning their awards, they're signing against the government. I mean, the government should realize there is a definite fear in the minds of the country that you see that our cultural unity that the cultural, right to liberty, the right to speech or expression is being hampered by this government. When have you seen in independent India that the President of India had to 3 times in 2 months warn the government, direct it to improve its ways of governance?
Okay, I know Krishna Sagar Rao wants to respond to that, but before I come back to him, you actually raised an important point about this entire discourse on Pakistan presently and how that's crept into the Bihar elections. The argument which was made by Amit Shah, the BJP president, was that if the BJP were to lose the elections in Bihar, there'd be Diwali celebrations in Pakistan. But there is a counterpoint as well. Mr. Pavan Verma, would you like to come in? Sushil Modi saying, what is communal in talking about Pakistan? When we say Pakistan, we meant that India faces a threat from Pakistan, and if the BJP loses, the PM's position will be weakened. So they are saying that there is a security angle over here. There is nothing communal. What is wrong in Sushil Modi's counter to your argument, sir?
Vishnu, the people of India are not cretins. Their IQ is not suboptimal. Actually, what is happening is that our worst fears are coming true. What we suspected Mr. Narendra Modi will do is actually happening. He said Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, but we always tried to convey to him that economic development and good governance and religious and social harmony in a country like India are 2 sides of the same coin. Unfortunately, we have come to the conclusion now that the growing intolerance in the country, which is affecting the image of the country abroad as well as in India, is a process in which it is not the fringe element. It is the Prime Minister himself who is completely complicit. Otherwise, there is no explanation why so many ministers, so many MPs of the ruling party constantly get away by making statements which are communally inflammatory.
No, but inflammatory statements have also been made by the JDU, Mr. Verma. Just 2 days back, we had Nitish Kumar making personal attacks on the Prime Minister by reciting lines from a Hindi, a Bollywood film, and then applying it to a Modi-like context. So how is that? I mean, the attacks have been from all parties in Bihar.
Vishnu, the attack in an election is only to be expected. But Mr. Nitish Kumar's poem had no communal color. To divide a society through underhand means on the basis of religious hatred is an entirely different agenda. And I will give you an example why it's affecting the image of the country, just as I answer the remark made by Mr. Sushil Modi. You know, Vishnu, Mr. Narendra Modi's much hyped visit to the US did not get 2 centimeters of space in the US media, although our channels were busy showing his interaction with NRIs. But when Dadri happened, it was on the front page of every major international newspaper, because the image of a country is a holistic entity. People judge it not merely by your GDP statistics, which are falling of the economy, because the finance minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, Vishnu, I'll take 10 seconds more. The finance minister of the country, Mr. Arun Jaitley, instead of devoting his time to the flagging economy, is coming to Bihar repeatedly and making statements which are adding fuel to the fire of the communal hatred being fanned by the BJP. And as far as Mr. Sushil Modi is concerned, his attempt to try and give some kind of fig leaf to the blatantly communal statement made by Mr. Amit Shah is laughable. The people of Bihar are going to laugh at it. On the 8th of November, they will know.
Krishna Sagar Rao, do you want to respond to that before I go across to my other panelists? That people in Bihar are no fools. They understand what is being given is an excuse. He's referring to the remarks made by Sushil Modi. Go ahead.
See, Vishnu, I think election campaigns are all about seeking a mandate by stating the facts. Amit Shah ji was making a statement stating a fact. He said our enemy state will be very happy if we are politically, economically, militarily, emotionally become weak. And that's what exactly an year and a half ago, the Indian electorate considered the same. And that is why they have voted BJP, the only nationalist national party, into power to protect this nation and to lead it forward. Now, what is happening actually, the likes of Pavan Verma ji, the likes of Pawan Verma ji are creating the obfuscation, confusion, negative propaganda, because negativity spreads faster. They cannot stand Bharatiya Janata Party, neither it was under the Vajpayee ji's leadership, nor today under Modi ji's leadership. Their worst fears are certainly coming true because they'll be swept off. They'll be
that is political
inconsequential
rhetoric
in
which
this
both
country.
sides say that each side will be swept off.
The coalition, see Vishnu, the coalition era which everybody talked about just disappeared into the thin air after Modi ji took over the reins, and today the country is progressing at a speed and with zero corruption. So they don't want to talk about
that is
things
also
which are
more
happening.
rhetoric,
They
I'm
want
sure.
to only-
All right. Okay, let's keep
What
the
is
rhetoric
rhetoric,
aside for a
Vishnu?
moment. We all
What
know
am-
the true state of corruption.
You allowed-
Wherever it
you
may be,
allowed
every party
Pawan
says
Verma
that
ji
they have
some
fought
time.
corruption
Vishnu,
perfectly.
Vishnu.
But just a moment, sir.
Vishnu,
Let me
you-
go across. Let me go across also to my other panelists. I'll
No,
come back
Vishnu
to you.
you allowed the other panelists
I'll
some
come back
time.
to
Just
you.
give me the proportionate time.
Just
Give me some.
time.
Give
and
me
I'll
just
come back
10
to you.
seconds.
Go ahead.
Vishnu,
Yes.
I'm also
Continue
there.
with what you're saying, Mr. Continue with what you're saying, Mr. Rao. Quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, see what I'm trying to
Vishnu,
say
I
is,
also been
even
invited by
Rita ji also talked about how President of the country admonished us. He didn't admonish us. He only made some statements, and we certainly are also a little surprised that in 1 month the constitutional head of a country takes swipes on his own government and his own country 3 times. We are also a little surprised as to who's talking there.
You were surprised at what the president said.
Because how do you add up?
I'm sorry.
You're
surprised.
Vishnu.
The BJP disagrees with the BJP disagrees with what the president had to say.
It's against
We are
Modi government and
surprised.
it agrees the nation.
We are surprised. 1 second, Rita ji. I heard you.
for
Please
this
listen
country
to
then
me.
it had to happen.
May I
What
make
I
a
am
few
what
bullet
I am simply asking is, how is it that 3 isolated incidents in 2 states
you made a
out
very
of 29
you
states?
made a point on
Over the
what the
point.
president said.
No,
Do you
1 second.
believe that the president
Vishnu.
of India was being biased in making those remarks?
I'm only saying we are surprised, because how do you paint the entire country intolerant?
Surprise
and
is a very mild word.
he's not,
What are you accusing him of?
No, I'm not accusing. I'm only saying we are surprised. We are surprised
Vishnu,
that
I
how
must
do you
get to say
take an
something
idea
here.
of India.
You are
I think Pawanji, why do you want to come in
when
between?
hundreds of our
If you have
scientists
nothing,
are
if you have nothing to
res-
prove, then you come in between.
Okay,
Rita
let
ji,
me
why
go
are you
across to
coming in
Ratan
between? I didn't come in
Sharda.
between.
Mr. Sharda has been
Let me
waiting
finish
very
my
patiently
statement.
and listening. I need
Vishnu,
to go across
Vishnu,
to
let
him.
me finish.
I need to go across to him. Mr. Sharda, the point is this. A lot of people would say that the remarks made by Amit Shah as far as Pakistan and Diwali is concerned is rather disingenuous. I mean, what exactly is he trying to say? I mean, according to a tweet from Omar Abdullah, life is so much clearer now. If you don't vote for or support the BJP, you are a Pakistani, since only Pakistanis celebrate BJP defeats. Is this what the implication was of Amit Shah's statement?
Are you asking me?
No,
Vishnu,
I'm asking Mr.
surprised
Sharda.
at the
Go ahead.
devious way the statements are twisted. May I make a few bullet points? I've
Yes,
been
please
sitting
go
quietly
ahead.
listening to a lot of bhashans. May I make a few bullet points? First of all, I just got a I got a copy of Pakistani newspaper Dawn, in which Mr. Nitish Kumar has given an advertisement of his party on the front page. What does it mean? I mean, has he got voters in Pakistan? And what is so ideal about? I don't understand what kind of marketing.
Sharma ji.
Then
One
you're
second,
talking
Mr.
about
Verma,
what
is
you are
that
talking
true?
about. At the most, you can say, listen. At the
It's a
most,
Google technology.
I've got a copy, Vermaji. I've got a copy.
Anywhere.
Be patient. If you want, I'll post it to you.
No, but
Yes.
we've got an
Please do.
MP of
This
we've
is
got
what
an
you
MP
are
of the
doing.
party
No, you are
denying that.
denying it.
Google technology.
Are you denying it?
Development agenda.
Now, listen.
It's an article
One,
that's
just
popped
let
up
me
on-
complete.
Apparently
Let
on
me
Google,
complete,
I'm not
let
sure.
me complete.
Okay, go ahead,
Rita
sir.
Bahuguna.
Go ahead,
Rita,
go ahead,
may I
Mr.
speak?
Sharda.
Miss Bahuguna, may I speak?
What level will they stoop
What do you mean?
to
You
next?
want to
I have
boil
kept
it
quiet
down?
for
No,
half
one
an
moment,
hour.
everybody.
Can you
Let's
speak
be
for
fair
5
to
minutes?
Mr. Sharda,
Pawanji,
please.
not as low as you.
Ratan
Listen to
Sharda
me.
ji, continue. Go
Miss
ahead.
Bahuguna.
Not as low as
Miss
your
Bahuguna
parties are
frothing
doing
in the
Bihar.
mouth
You
doesn't
have
remember.
brought public discourse to the lowest,
Miss Bahuguna frothing in the
lowest
mind
level
doesn't
ever.
remember that they have been in bed with MIM for years. They have been in bed with MIM for years. When MIM comes to Bihar, they get afraid. Is this not communal politics? And I don't know by any means how can you equate Pakistan with Muslims? Are you implying that Indian Muslims are not patriots? Are you implying that Indian Muslims look at Pakistan?
Are you implying that there is no national ramification of this election?
But why
If
did
it were
Pakistan
not
have
so,
to come into
Mr.
the rhetoric,
Verma would
Mr.
not
Chadha?
have got
You are
married to
implying-
Lalu Prasad
Wait,
Yadav,
Vishnu,
who is a proven
read
convict.
the statement.
He is a convicted corrupt
Why talk
person.
about Pakistan
He cannot
at all,
stand
sir?
for election. You
Ratan
make him
Chadha,
leader
why talk about
because stakes
Pakistan?
are very high.
The JDU,
When
sir,
you
says
play
it
communal
shows that
game,
you have lost,
it's
that
very
the BJP has lost
nice.
ideas.
When a communal
That
game is
the
played
surest
by
sign that the
somebody
NDA is not
else,
going to
you
do
are
well
getting
is
agitated.
because these remarks have been made. That's what you're
raging, this artificial raging has no value. I am saying
Vishnu,
it has no value. This kind of unnecessary rage, communist,
Vishnu,
party,
can I
Congress
comment?
party
Was
with
it a
MIM, now
was it a
shouting at
national
MIM.
election? Was it a national
Nitish Kumar
election?
arresting
How is
Lalu,
Modi's-
now partnering
how
with
is
Lalu
Modi's image
because the
related to
stakes
a
are very
state
high.
election?
For
Okay,
them
I
it's
want to go
question
back
of
to
faith.
Mr.
Where does
Verma because I
Pakistan come
think
in Bihar election?
And how is
Where
your
does
image
Pakistan
related to
come in
MIM?
Bihar
Mr.
election?
Communal? Why are you worried?
Mr. Rao,
You
I'll
have
come to
taken
you in
your
a while. I
best
want to
efforts
go
to
forward because there is an
you have done
important
your
point
best
you've not
efforts to
covered so
besmirch the
far.
image
Mr.
of
Verma,
India
tell me
and
this.
Modi
Because there is
across
an
international
accusation
fora.
from the Prime
Totally
Minister of
wrong.
double
You are
standards
one who did
by
not
Nitish
attend the
Kumar.
summit.
The point
You
he
have
made
no
is this.
embarrassment.
On the 24th of August
And you're going to
2005, Nitish Kumar in Parliament had argued for reservations along the lines of community, and yet just a few days back had been very critical of the remarks made by the of remarks made by the Prime Minister, where the PM had said that there was an effort to take away some reservations, a part of reservations, and give it to the Muslim community. So an accusation of double standards has been made. The Prime Minister says he's got a copy of what was said by Nitish Kumar in 2005. How would you respond to that, sir?
You're asking me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I'd like to answer that. On the 24th of August, with a great flourish, Mr. Narendra Modi pulled it out as proof. There was a discussion in Parliament on extending reservations to unaided private educational institutions. In the course of that debate, Mr. Nitish Kumar first said, the Constitution is supreme. Secondly, he said, all interpretations of the affirmative action will be made by the Supreme Court on whether it is congruent with the Constitution, which is supreme. In this context, he said that Mahatma Gandhi had said that those scheduled castes who may have converted, if their conditions are still socially and educationally backward as defined by the Constitution, the state must take affirmative action to help them. In the OBCs, you include people of other religion as per the law. In the scheduled tribes,
Vishnu.
you include Christians. In the scheduled castes, you have begun to include Sikhs.
Knowing
he
that
said
courts
there
have
should be
disallowed this, you still
additionality
keep on
if-
insisting on it.
Can I finish?
No,
I'll
this
take
is
5
an important
seconds more.
explanation. Go ahead.
Vishnu,
No,
Krishna
and
Sagar
there
Rao
are
has come
issues
along.
that
Speak,
in
so I
the
will
course-
intervene.
But he's
Please don't
explaining
interrupt
this.
because then
The
it becomes
preachers-
tutu mein.
So when you do it,
It
becomes
becomes
secular.
the preachers,
Let me
the
explain
preachers
to you.
Enters
of
a
communal
communal.
divide,
And therefore,
the preachers
Therefore,
of
so
communal
therefore,
divide
yes,
are
Mr.
the
Verma.
architectures
Sir,
of the division of this country.
sir, therefore,
Vishnu,
Ul-
the preachers of
ultimately,
communal
Ra-
divide are the
Vishnu,
architects
Mr. Rao, I'll
of
come
the
to you
division
next.
of this country.
Mr. Rao, I will come to
Mr.
you next.
Therefore, let me just complete the argument. And therefore, in this context, he said that if a Dalit has converted to Christianity and is being socially ostracized still, there should be additionality in quota in order to extend affirmative action as part of the program of social justice. He never said anything about quotas
Vishnu, can I-
for the on religious grounds. He said
Okay.
Constitution is supreme.